application of compounding interest. All right, so this first application I'm going to give you, we invested $25,000 in an account that pays APR of 6%. So notice nowhere on here does it say a compounding period, but it also doesn't say simple interest. So when it doesn't say simple interest, the APR means annual percentage rate. And so in this case, it's assumed to compound annually. Right? Only use the simple interest if it says simple interest. If it doesn't say simple interest, we assume it's compounding, and if they don't tell us the compounding period because of the annual means yearly, this is a yearly compounding. Alright, so we'll be compounding yearly, which means my interest rate is, my APR is my R value in the compound interest formula, because it would be the interest rate as a percent divided by 1. And then T would be 1 times the number of years. So in the first example, it's 10. And so then we use our formula. And again, the formula sheet you have. Our future value, or our future balance, is our initial value. That's the initial amount, 25,000, times 1 plus our R, raised to the, I said R, which was 0.06, raised to the T, which is 10. So since it's compounded yearly and over 10 years, so every year it gets reinvested. So 10 times, so that T represents how many times it's reinvested. So 10 times it'll be reinvested. And so the future balance would be $44,771 and about 19 cents and change in 10 years. All right, how much of that $44,000 is interest? Well, to figure out interest, in this case, you take your future value, the future balance, minus the initial, right? You invested $25,000. It's earning interest, so everything over $25,000 is interest. So to figure it out, you find the difference between what you put in and what you get out at the end. So you take the future value, the $44,771.19, subtract away how much you invested. Everything else was the interest earned. All right, so it's quite a bit, because 10 years is a long time. All right, so you earned a little over $19,000 in interest. Again, you had to leave your money there for 10 years, so you had to wait for 10 years, but because you waited for 10 years, you got to earn quite a large chunk of change, so to speak. Alright, example 4. After 11 years, the balance in the account is $15,600. If the account pays an APR of 3%, find the original amount, how much interest was earned in the investment. So again, APR of 3%, annual percentage rate, so every year it earns 3% on the balance. And so this is a yearly rate, which means R equals the percent divided by 1, which is just the percent. So you earn 3% every year, that's what the APR means, on the previous year's balance. T is your time. In this case, it would be 11 times 1, right, every year. So it's just 11. 11 times the money gets reinvested. We're given the future balance. The future balance was $15,600. We want to find the present value, the initial amount. All right, so we're looking for the initial amount deposited. So in the formula, we're looking for this piece of the formula. So we do have to do a little bit of algebra to solve this. So again, we set it equal to the $15,600. Present value is what we're looking for, so that's what we have to solve for. 1 plus R, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the addition in my head. 1 plus the 0.03 gives me 1.03 raised to the 11. Alright, I want to solve for present value, and so I'm going to divide by that. I'm going to divide by this exactly. Do not round until the end of the problem. So divide the 15,600 by 1.3 raised to the 11. Leave this exact. Do not round until the end of the problem. Alright, leave it exact. Otherwise, you could have a significant rounding error. All right, so this is what you plug into your calculator. When you do plug it into the calculator, it comes out the present value is 11,269.77. All right, so that's the answer. How much of that future value was interest? So we want to figure out interest again. Right? Interest is future value minus present value. How much you earned at the end, how much you have at the end, minus how much you invested. The difference between your investment and the future value is the interest, right? Because it's what you earn, the reason why you invest. All right, so the future value was $15,600. You invested $11,269.77, which means the difference between those two numbers is your interest, which comes out to be a little over $4,000. All right, $4,330.30. All right, the next example, I'm going to kind of walk you through a quarterly. So this was annual. So this was yearly. Every year we earn the same percent. All right, so comparing that, so which again R came out the APR. Right, R was our annual percentage interest rate. Again, every year we earned 3% on the previous balance. All right, so that one wouldn't have been too hard to figure out without the formula, right? First year I earned 3% on the balance, the next year I earned 3% on that balance, the next year I earned 3% on that. All right, so what we're going to look at in the next example is we're going to say, well, what if we break it down throughout the year? So it's not a yearly one anymore. How does the problem work when I break it down monthly, quarterly, semi-annually? And so we're going to look at an example with quarterly. All right, so again, this is where we're having APR, and we're going to break it down. Instead of having the yearly rate, instead of earning 10% every year, we're going to take 10% and break it down 4 times over the year. That's what we do. That's what the compounded means. We're breaking it down 4 times over the year. And so we're going to find the balance in the account after 1 year using the formula, and then I'm going to show you how that works. All right, what is actually going on in the formula. All right, so our R is no longer our annual percentage rate. It's our annual percentage rate, 0.1, but we're breaking it down 4 times. Quarterly means 4 times a year. My money gets reinvested, and I earn money on my money, all right, based on the percentage broken down 4 times over the year. All right, so it's 0.1 divided by 4, so that means my R is 0.025. So again, that's the interest rate per quarter. That's what that means, per quarter. T is how often it gets broken down. So 4 times throughout the 1 year, my money gets reinvested. So that 4 represents the amount of times my money is reinvested, and I get to earn a little bit more. I get to earn a little bit more percentage on my previous balance. All right, so a little bit more every time it's reinvested. So 4 times we break down the percent. 4 times the money gets reinvested, so I earn interest on my interest. And we're going to break it down in the table. Now, before we break it down in the table, I'm going to find it using the formula. All right, so my future balance is my present value, 5,000 times 1 plus R raised to the T, which is 4. And so it comes out to, at the end of the year, $5,519.06. All right, so how that works, so the formula, what it's doing is throughout the year, so every 3 months, this would be 4 times a year, every 3 months the money is reinvested, and we add up what we had plus any interest earned, and then that gets to earn a little bit more of interest. And so we're breaking it down into the interest earned, remember, is the 0.025, because we're taking our annual, our yearly rate, and splitting it 4 times. All right, so the first month, we had a balance over here of, we started out with 5,000. That's the initial amount, the present value. All right, which means we earn this percentage on it. So you take your 5,000 times your 0.025. That's your amount that we're going to earn interest. So it's $125 in interest for the first 3 months, right? The first quarter. So the new balance at the end of 3 months is, well, we add those up, so 5,125 is the new balance, which means in the second quarter, the second 3 months, we earn 0.025, so 2.5% interest on this bigger amount. So you take your 5,125, multiply it by 0.025, and now we get to earn a little bit more interest, and it is 128.13 if I round to the decimal place. Alright, and now we're going to add that to this value. So now the new, after 2 quarters, so after 6 months, we now have $5,253.13. This is the new balance for that quarter. And so you're going to take for the third quarter, you take the 5,253.13 multiplied by 0.025. That's 25 there. So you take your 0.025 times your 5,253.13. And so this month, again, it's a little, every time you'll notice we get a little more interest each quarter. Right? First one was 125, this one is 128. The next one is going to be 131.33. Again, we get to add it to this balance. And so it comes out 5,384.45. Alright, so the next month, that's the amount we're going to find the interest on, 5,384.54545. So for the last quarter, so this gets me to the end of the year, we take it times our 0.025. So again, it should be a little bit more than we earned last time, and it is 134.61. So we earn every 3 months, every quarter. We earn a little bit more because we have a little bit more in our account when it's reinvested. And the last amount should equal what we found in our equation. If you take your 134, add it to the 5,384.45, it does come to 5,519.06, which is what we found in our formula. So that's what the formula is doing. That's what the compound interest formula is doing. When it's annual, it's just doing that once a year. All right, when we only look at the annual interest rate, we're not breaking it down over the year. When we have a compounding period, we're taking that annual interest rate instead of once a year. We're breaking it down however often. And again, this one's an example of quarterly. Most of the time, it's actually monthly. And we'll do more examples in the next set of notes. So we'll stop there.